So you won't believe that this guy has put me on his life insurance, on his like home lease, on his like all these things. And I just can't make this stuff up. I just can't make it up. And did I ask for any of this? Of course not. But we're going to get into this, and we're going to get into the importance of self-control, especially when it comes to our emotions. Now, one of the things I specifically want to address when it comes to the male variety. Hold on, let me put this thing on silent because it's something I'm. Oh, hold on. There's something I've kind of observed about them is that they are not like outwardly emotional like us ladies. They're not like out crying after the breakup and like eating ice cream with the sofa. Some of them do. But they tend to just, I don't know how to describe it, but a lot of them, not all of them, rush ahead because that's what men do. They get, the thing about them is they're too excited, right? They're too excited. That's like one of those phrases to describe them. So the thing about it is, and the importance of self-control and why it's one of the fruits of the spirit in Galatians 5:22 is because, as I say to you guys, actions have consequences. And if we don't take the time to think about the consequences of our actions, we'll find ourselves in situations we don't want to be in when we could have just taken a beat. We could have taken a breath. We could have just calmed down, slow down, you know? And that's why, for me, when I feel like doing something impulsively, whatever, a lot of my impulsive decisions are things I already thought that if I ever have the opportunity to do this, I'm going to say yes. Not just, yeah, sure, you know what I mean? So let me give you the backtrack to the story because this is a perfect story. And these are the things I've been learning over the years talking to gentlemen, especially since like about 2000, it was about 2022 in June is when all of this started. Yeah, and I think it's because I'd gotten to that age now where I was considered a woman and not just a girl. And all of a sudden, I started to gain all this male attention. And, you know, even though a lot of the times I wouldn't feel interested, I would try to give the guys the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean, and give them a try because it is frustrating. I can understand that if you feel like somebody's just shut you down, but they haven't even given you a chance, you know. So that's why I actually give these guys a chance, as it were, because, you know, I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be considerate, you know. Is my laundry done? Anyway, so this is how it all starts that, you know, we met whatever and he's interested in me and whatever. We're all having a good time at first. Now, I'm obviously always very clear about my feelings, about how I don't want to be married. I don't want to have children. Some of those feelings have changed, but I don't communicate that because I feel like, again, they run it 100 miles. So like they're like, oh my gosh, okay, let's get married by the end of the year. Let's do this. It happens all the time. I have to say, this is the most severe form I've seen. So, and this is what I'm saying again about the self-control. Like, you guys in the patriarchy, you men of the world, can defend yourself to the end of time about in your actions and justify them, especially through the lens of, you know, this is how men are, this is what men do. But like a lot of the things you guys defend work against you. So this guy, here's a backstory for him. Yeah, he's like early 40s, I think. He had been married for, I think, 12 years. Why did the marriage come to an end? Well, even though he was paying for everything, he was breaking his back, whatever, she was expecting him to essentially foot the bill, not just for him and their daughter, but essentially her whole entire family, which again, in a lot of cultures will defend stuff like this. And when some of us say you should put your own family first and do this, I'm seen as hateful. Must hate people. Like, let's be reasonable here. Why can those people not look after themselves? They should be looking after themselves. And it's funny because when it comes to stuff like that, yeah, when it comes to family, the word family, everyone will defend why your family deserves absolutely everything, right? But then with a young woman like me, oh, I have to figure everything out by myself. I want to figure everything out by myself because I'm an adult now. Right, cool. Anyway, so that was the dynamic, I guess, for like 12 years or whatever. And there goes my laundry. In fact, I'm going to go put it in the dryer right now. I've completely forgot where I was. Sorry, you guys, but I have to do it because I've been ill, so unwell for the last 10 days. I'm still not feeling well, but I really miss being on here. And yeah, but more on why I've been ill, because it's literally been the worst ill I've been in a while. Oh, excuse me. So anyway, yeah, so in the midst of this, so they end up splitting up, and 2 months later, he's remarried. So I'm thinking, this is the thing about men that I've realized is the problem. Y'all get so caught up in whatever the feelings are, whether it's love, infatuation, whatever, lust, that you then don't think about the fact that you're dealing with a woman, right? And this is why I've been trying to explain to you guys a lot about being a woman, and I've been sharing about with you guys my own heinous behaviors, because this is where y'all go wrong. Like, y'all don't spend enough time getting to know the woman. You make snap and quick decisions, right? And don't get me wrong, I do believe that it shouldn't take long, like more than like 3 months, for a man to figure out if that is his woman. I'll say that. But once you figured out, that's the point when you now assess and, whatever, before you move 100 miles. So anyways, this guy's come out of a divorce. 2 months later, he's remarried. For me as a woman, that's a red flag if a woman knows you just got divorced 2 months ago and is that ready to just be with you, okay? Because that's not looking after you, because that's not healthy, because there's no way you've done the emotional release work that you need to do, like to put everything behind you, to come to terms with what happened, to assess what went right, what went wrong. As I said to you guys, look, I've never been married, but the 5-year relationship I was in, look where we are. I guess we're still single because we're still in that process. Well, not really still, but I wanted to really take the time to process, first of all, myself and what I did wrong and what I did right and whatever. And second of all, just what I didn't understand and what I missed, and, really like get to the grips of it. So, so this guy has gotten divorced. Little did I know that this guy had gotten divorced again after 9 years. He's with a woman. And again, he was essentially her bank account. And I'm like, these are the signs that men miss, like, because they're too busy running 1,000 miles. Of course, that's all she wants from you. She doesn't know you. We're women. We need to take the time to think about it, to think about you, to, like, especially if you're a woman of God, to talk to the Lord at length about you, like spend time around you. You know what I mean? So whether we like you or not, whether we instantly have some kind of chemistry or whatever. So of course she's not interested in you. She don't even know who the heck you are. That's how we work. So anyway, they're then married for like 9 years, I think it is. Then she spurs upon him 2 months before he met me. Out of nowhere, I'd like to get divorced. Yep. And so now I feel like he's in a state of panic because he's talked to a woman. She's nice, she's reasonable. He even said, "You're the most easygoing woman I've ever known." Like, of course I am. Hence why I'm not trying to rush and I'm not trying to push you into anything. I'm being very honest from the beginning. I've told you I'm not interested in this and that. And again, that goes over a lot of guys' heads because they're so busy running at 100 miles that they're not hearing me and not realizing I'm so deadly serious. And the decision is irrespective of you. You know what I mean? But obviously over the last 2 years, there's been the individual in question, which thank God for him. And actually, they only make me more interested in him. That's the funny thing. But anyway, so in the midst of it all, and in the midst of the panic, and in the midst of going through all the divorce papers again, and getting the divorce lawyers again, and having to sell this and this and that, bro decides to put my name, on all his important documents attached to all his assets and all his everything. What are you talking about? We're not even here. We're not even boyfriend, girlfriend. We're not even that far. Like, do you know what I'm saying? But that's what you've decided to do, and you've done it. And one time, right, one of these times I saw him. He invited me to a barbecue at his friend's house, yeah. And his friend can see everything for what it is. His friend's been married for 25 years, right? and they've got a beautiful home with him and his wife and their daughter, whatever. And he invites me to his friend's house for a barbecue, yeah. And the friend literally says to me, "It's like, you are so rich right now." And I was like, "I know, I know. I didn't ask for this though, and this isn't fair." And the one thing that's good, and I even said in front of his friend, I was like, "You know, he's so blessed that I'm not the type of woman who takes advantage of anyone." You know what I mean? So he's so blessed because, again, if I wanted to right now, you see what I'm saying? Then men will be like, "Oh, we don't know how the women of today, we don't know how women are like, there's no good woman about." Bro, you're not even taking a moment to stop and think if this is or isn't a good woman. That's also my thing. I always ask guys, right? I always ask them, what if I'm a wicked woman? Like, what if I'm wicked? What if I'm a bad woman? Are they running head first into everything, right? Talking about, I live here, like I could move you into my house, we can live like this. Talking about, where do you want to live in the world? Let's go and do this. Talking about, yeah, we can get married by the end of the year. What kind of wedding would you like? Where do you want to go on honeymoon? I'm like, sir, you don't know who I am. And the funny thing is, yeah, in another world where I wasn't a child of the Lord, I would be heinous. You know what I mean? I would be heinous. I appreciate as a woman, I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to pay for nothing in this life if I choose to. I'm just got to manipulate the men who are just really lacking in wisdom. Hence why they need good women in their lives. So anyway, yeah, that's what he's decided to do. And you know what? I didn't fight him on it. And I'll tell you why. Because he's emotionally panicking about literally everything. He doesn't stop. He doesn't this. He's working all these extra hours. When he's not working, running around. I want to take you here. I want to do this. I'm like, take a breath. Take a breath. But you know the problem is? It's a lack of self-control. That's what it is. It's a lack of self-control and it's a lack of emotional maturity. And this is why I say to you guys, I find it so funny that people walk around thinking that they're adults. Oh, well done. You go to work and you pay your bills. You have succeeded at adulthood. No, my friend. It's about this. The maturity and the self-control. And this is what scares me for the men of the world. Because we have, look, I don't long live the patriarchy, as you know, okay? So I'm not against you guys, I'm for you guys, and so I'm saying this stuff. Like, I can see that so many things I hear men saying in situations where they feel blindsided. It's like, of course you feel blindsided because you weren't even looking. You didn't even check your mirrors, like Specs Gonzalez likes to say. You didn't even check your mirrors. Check your mirrors before you run head first, because then you like, and this is exactly how humans are. This is exactly how kids are. Kids run straight 100 miles at the wall, bump their head. Oh, did you stop to think that's a wall? Did you stop to look at what's on the floor around you? If you might trip. That's how I broke my leg. You know how I broke my leg when I was like 6 or 7? I decided to run. Yeah, this is on the field at lunchtime. I decided to run on the field with my eyes closed. And I tripped over some kid laying on the floor. That's what y'all look like. And then there's me in a cast for like, I can't remember how many months. Unable to do a whole bunch of things. And it's like, whose fault is it here, really? Is it the kid lying on the ground? Because the kid's lying on the ground. The kid lying on the ground is probably thinking, oh, you're going to be... People are looking with their eyes. People have their eyes open. Why would anybody be running with their eyes closed? This is what I'm trying to say. So I just thought I would share this with you guys because this is absolutely insane. And think about this is what I'm saying. This is why rushing is no good. Ever. And we have to think about the consequence of our actions. This is why I hate having free will. Because now, if anything bad happens to this guy, he's already in a bad place. If I now decide to rise up and also be against him, when he's already in a vulnerable state, because he hasn't done the time to make sure that he's in a better place, he's done. He's absolutely done. Do you see what I'm saying? Other women with information like this, you know what? Let me just slowly poison him. Because bro has properties, bro has land, bro has all these things that he has. And now my name's there. That's why I say to you guys, my life is a movie. Like, I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. So hopefully you guys will use this. Anyways, we'll talk about this topic more. But hopefully you guys can listen to this, as a man or as a woman, and think about the consequences of your actions and the need. Like, there's a reason why, Jesus goes and takes his time to himself. There's a reason why he exudes self-control and did 40 days and 40 nights. There's a reason, because we can all defend everything. We can all defend everything. But the fact of the matter is, defend it to whoever you want. You will pay the consequences of your actions, not those everybody's. And unfortunately for you men of the world, right, because of how you guys are and how, this is why I say you guys aren't intelligent. Very knowledgeable, very competent in many things, very, what other words? Yeah, very competent, very knowledgeable, very practical, and all these things. But you guys lack intelligence and wisdom. That's what you didn't get. Because if you were going to be able to figure out everything by yourself, God was never going to exist with us, and he was never going to send you a woman. And he said it's not good for man to be alone. I wonder why he says that in Genesis. Why do you think he says that? Because me, I can see a mile off just from the small piece of data that he gave me about his thing. Immediately, as soon as he told me, I was 2 months after I divorced, I got remarried. So really, right now, everything that's happening within him is whatever he didn't address from his first marriage, and now also what he's now added to that, whatever he didn't address from his second marriage. And because he's not smart enough, right, and he's too excited, like I said, this is how I would describe men in general. He I won't say what I was thinking. It's been amplified to the point where this is actually crazy. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know about that. And obviously, I'm not gonna, once he settles down, I will respectfully tell him. Because you know what I was gonna say to him before he went and ran into all of this? I was gonna say, what you need to do is keep everything in your name and in your name only for the foreseeable. And before we got to have that conversation, bro's already going to put my name on everything. My government name. Anyways, if life's a game, let's play to win, guys. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one.